you. Thanks, everybody. Welcome to Build. I'm your host, Ricky Camilleri. Our next guest has been doing stand-up for years and years. You've seen him on Chelsea Lately, The Tonight Show, Jimmy Kimmel, The Adam Carolla Show. His new Netflix special, Jo Koy, Comin In Hot, is hitting Netflix June 12th. Let's take a look.
I was like, you know what? You get your hair from your mom's side. And my son goes, sweet. And I was crushed. I love you, Hawaii. Thank you so much, man. Whew. Yes. Oh, man. Woo. Hello, beautiful. Oh, my God. There's those Jo Koy locks.
Hey, Joe, can you sign some autographs?
Just give me 1 second. Oh.
Everybody, please welcome Jo Koy. Let's hear it.
Hi.
Hey,
Yes.
thank you so much for being here. Congratulations on the new special, man.
Thank you.
Congratulations on everything. You know, one of the things that we were just talking about in the green room is that, one, this special looks humongous. This looks like a big budget Netflix or a comedy special where the audience looks humongous throughout
Thank you.
this.
It was huge. Yeah. It was the Blaisdell Arena. I had to shoot it in Hawaii. They were the first ones to give me like the most love when I started doing stand up on the road and doing that transition from clubs to theaters. And Hawaii was just like, I don't know what it was. They just embraced me hard, especially after the first special dropped. I broke like a record out there, and I sold, I think, 12 shows out in a row in like a couple days. I was like 24,000 tickets in like a few days, and I was.
How long ago was that?
That was 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah,
So
and then I remember after every show, I said I'm gonna shoot a Netflix special here, which is crazy because I lied because I didn't even have the first Netflix special. The first Netflix special, when that dropped, I didn't even have it, and I was telling people, oh, I'm gonna shoot my Netflix special here, but I never even had a deal with Netflix, so I lied about that, and then I shot it myself, and then I sold it to Netflix, and then they never offered me a second one, and then I swear, I went to Hawaii, and I did those shows, and at the end of every show, I go, I'm bringing my second Netflix special to Hawaii. They go crazy, and then I walk off stage and go, I don't even have a special. I'm lying. And then, like months later, they offered me that second special. Long after, it was like 6 months later, they offered me that special. What? And they still didn't want me to go to Hawaii. They wanted me to shoot it somewhere in the mainland, like in Florida or something like that.
Why?
I don't know. They were like, we don't know about Hawaii. Why don't you do it somewhere like Nashville? Which would have been great. I would have loved to have done that, but I just knew that Hawaii was the spot to do it in.
Does your career feel like it's in a different place right now than it did like 5-6 years ago?
Yeah.
Can you talk about what, I mean, because entertainers, whether it's actors or comedians or filmmakers, you know, anybody in entertainment never feels like they've really broken through, no matter sort of how high they get or where they are. Do you feel like at this moment you've broken through, that you can take a breath, or do you feel like you have to keep sprinting?
No, I'm not going to take a breath at all. I'm going to keep going for sure. I don't want to rest. It took me 30 years to get here, and I never want to sell shoes again. I hated it. That was the worst. Did I ever tell you that story? No. When I did the Tonight Show? I did the Tonight Show, and I was working 3 jobs. I was a busboy on a yacht, like yachts. Like people would hire these yachts to do private parties, and I was the busboy. And then I worked at a bookstore as a shelving books, and then my other job was getting shoes at Nordstrom Rack. Like they would hand me the left side, and I had to go get the right side. It was the worst job in the world. And I did the Tonight Show. I got a standing O, and I didn't know how many people watched the Tonight Show until I went to work the next day. And I swear, every other woman was like, "Oh my God, you were on the Tonight Show. You were so funny."
When was this?
It was like 13 years ago.
So 13 years ago, you'd already been doing stand-up for 17 years at that point.
Yeah.
And you were still working 3 jobs
Three
while
jobs
doing
with like a 4-year-old child.
Wow.
And then it was so humiliating because they'd be like, "Oh my God, you were so funny last night," and I'm like, "Thank you," and then we're like, "Can I get this in an 8?" And I have to go in the back stock room,
And then
just
as you like
cry
left
to myself.
as you left to get it, they're like, "No joke, come on,
Yeah, can we get a joke with that shoe, please?
you're the comedian."
Yeah.
So 13 years ago, you do the Tonight Show. You're still working 3 jobs. When did the side jobs end?
It was right after the Tonight Show.
Right after the
my
Tonight
life
Show.
changed. It was so funny because everyone was like, "Oh, it's not the same." You know, all my peers were like, "Yeah, you do the Tonight Show. It's good tape." It was life changing for me. It was over with. Yeah, I got that.
What do you mean good tape though? Is that like your peers telling you that it's not the same as it was, and like when Carson was on
Carson,
it, and
yeah.
basically you would do it, and you would suddenly get a sitcom deal or something?
Yeah, exactly.
it's not
Like
that.
if Carson waved you over to the seat, you got a TV show, you know.
Right.
But
Because when Carson was on, there were like 5 channels, and like
That was it.
70 million people watched it. a
exactly,
night
I
or
think it was
something
like
crazy.
3 channels. You know, I think it was
Yeah.
it was just the 3, and but I mean, when I did it, I mean, it changed my life, man. I got so many shows from that. I got so many gigs from it. I was booked until the end of the year from that. I was like, "Ooh, I'm good."
And you could quit, and you quit your 3 jobs.
I quit. Yeah, I was like, I got a commercial from it. I did this corporate gig where it took me everywhere. It was just crazy. I got my own phone. Like this guy, he owned a phone company called Amp Mobile.
remember that.
Do you remember that?
I remember
They used
Amp
to
Mobile.
sponsor like the UFC and stuff, and I was going to the UFC fights, and he gave me my own phone, and I was kind of like their spokesperson. You know what I mean? And I was good to go, man.
When did you get Chelsea Lately? Because that was a reoccurring gig, right?
I got Chelsea. I was supposed to be like Chewy. I was supposed to be like her sidekick.
Right.
And because I met Chelsea through John Lovitz. I tell this story all the time, but John Lovitz was like, "You have to meet my friend Chelsea. She's hysterical. She's my only friend on MySpace." And you go to MySpace, it was literally just Chelsea Handler and Tom. And literally, and then all of a sudden, Chelsea started coming around because I was opening for John Lovitz at the time. And then all of a sudden, Chelsea started coming around, and it was us 3. And then she was like, "I got this show idea, and I got a deal with E, and I want you to be on it." And initially, I said, "Yeah," but then I got this deal with Comedy Central, and my pilot never got picked up, and her show just took off. And I just remember she was so mad at me. Like, she cursed me out on the phone. "You're making the wrong choice." Whatever. She hung up, and I thought, I just remember I remember going to Nordstrom Rack and then watching Chelsea Lately going, "Oh, I messed up, man. I made the wrong choice."
Going back to work at Nordstrom Rack?
Well, because I had a deal with Comedy Central, so I couldn't commit to her.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? And she was like, "What are you doing? Like, this is going to be the show. Like, come do this show." And my show didn't take off, and hers did. And then, but she ended up calling me like 4 months later, and then next thing you know, I was a regular every week. So
Yeah, you were on the show like every week at that point.
Yeah.
So you're seeing like a slow increase at that point as well in terms of your notoriety.
Chelsea-
and the kind of gigs you're getting.
I always say this: Chelsea was kind of like the new Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if you killed on Johnny Carson, you killed on the road. You were good to go. If you killed on Chelsea, it was over with. You killed on the road. People came out to watch you if you did good on Chelsea. If you did bad on Chelsea, Chelsea would never invite you back. And you would see it too. Like, you could just see it during, like, when we go to commercial break, you could just see her like look at the new person on the panel and then look at Mike, the booker, and go, "No more. That's it. Don't ever bring that back." Yeah.
Oh, did you ever?
She was ruthless.
Did you ever feel like, so once you did the Tonight Show and things kind of took off, did you ever feel a slow, like between then and now, was there ever a slowdown where you got worried again that like you were gonna have to go back? Or since then, has it just been fairly steady, and in the last couple of years, it's been even bigger than steady?
Yeah, it kind of like hit this peak and then it just kind of stayed right there. I was always good to sell out, you know, my weekends over at the Improvs. But then I wasn't like making that transition to theaters, and I didn't know what it was, and I just kept pressing and pressing hard. I knew I needed that special. I knew I needed to get it one more out, you know, and but I wasn't getting the offers. You know what I mean? I got the offer from Comedy Central, but I really wanted Netflix. You know, my first 2 were on Comedy Central, and I just knew the way to go was Netflix, and I was trying everything to get them to come see me, man. I was offering them I was gonna fly him out on a private jet. I was like, "Come see this, please." Like, I was gonna, whatever you want. I'll get you cars. I'll put you up in a hotel. I was willing to do whatever it took to get them to come, and then finally they were just like, no, we're gonna pass. We're already booked for the year as far as booking our
What
talent.
does that mean? What does Netflix mean when they say when they're booked for content for the year?
I don't know. It was weird. Well, I think it was their stand-up special,
Oh.
original special. So that's what it was, and they were booked already. They already got their talent for that year, and I could have gotten mad. You know what I mean? Like I could have went on Twitter and blasted them and go, "Can't believe Netflix passed on me."
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that. But I didn't. I went the other route, and I financed that whole special myself. And if you watch the special, Live from Seattle, like you'll see me laughing on stage and having a good time. But in my head, I'm like, dude, I am broke.
Yeah.
And the only person I want to sell this to already said no. So if you could just imagine that much pressure. Like, I'm still trying to be funny. I've invested all of my money, and the person I want to sell it to already said no. That's how much pressure I had that
I
night.
bet part of that felt good though.
Oh, it did. I was
Like
so
I
hungry,
bet
man.
you're the kind of person who likes a gamble.
Yep.
In a way, and likes pressure like that.
Dude, that was big gamble because my son was not going to go to college. It was done. So I was like, even if you get straight A's, Joe,
Dad's got to shoot a special.
Dad's got to shoot a special. So it was done, man. It was done. But I'm glad I cut that up myself. I sat in the editing bay and
Can I ask what, like ballpark, what the budget was?
a
at the end?
lot.
Really?
Lot. Yeah. I don't want to say it because those are my cards. You know what I mean? And I got to keep that hand here. But let's just say it was a lot. Whatever you think it is, just go ahead and triple that.
Well, it always ends up becoming more.
Always, man.
Like
Now,
I just need a
let
couple
me just
camera
tell you-
guys in
let me-
lights, and
let
then
me
it's
just
more
tell
and
you-
more and more.
Let me just tell you this, Rick. The logo behind me, close to 20K. Let's just say that.
On the Seattle one.
On the Seattle one. The
What about-
logo behind me, the JK, was close to 20K. That's what it was.
What-
But I told my manager, I was like, look, man, if we're gonna shoot this and we want to sell it to Netflix and make it look like something that Netflix paid for, we got to make it look like something Netflix paid for.
Yeah.
And that's just the gamble I had to take. I couldn't do a cheap show at the Improv, you know what I mean? It would have been a great show, but like that's not something that they're gonna want to buy. They want to put their name on something that they want to claim and say, yeah, this is an original. We did this. And that's what we did. I spared no expense on that.
Because otherwise, they may have bought the special but not considered it a Netflix original, right? There is the
Exactly.
possibility that they have some specials like that,
Yeah.
where they buy, like if you think about Galifianakis' Live at the Purple Onion or something, that was like a fairly cheap special that he made that is now just sort of on streaming platforms. But he probably doesn't get that much. No one probably actually bought it from him. It just is there.
Yeah. First of all, everything Zach does is hysterical.
Yeah, yeah. No matter the budget, sure.
No matter
yeah.
the budget, that guy could do it anywhere. Yeah, but I just had to show him like I had to show them that this is something you would want to put your name on. And I remember bringing that to them and dropping it on their table. I was just so nervous because I was like, if they say no, this is gonna be on YouTube, bro. This is gonna be the most expensive special on YouTube. Swear to God. And we could have just shot it with an iPhone. I didn't have to hire Steven Spielberg.
I love the
Could have had my
idea
mom hold her droid up.
of when you send the YouTube link to,
Yeah.
your friends, and they're like, dude, this is like, how much money did you spend on this, Joe?
Yeah, exactly. Check out my new special on IG story. Like, it would have been so bad. It would have been so bad, man.
So I'm curious though. You go. What did they say when you brought it to them? Did they?
It was so crazy because the minute we put it on their table, I think we got an offer like 3 days. Not an offer, but they said don't put it on anyone else's desk. That's what we got. We didn't get an offer. They just said don't shop it around. Just we're gonna give you an offer. And I was like, okay. Yes, that's all I wanted.
So clearly, you like taking a big risk. You like gambling. Going into this special, was there something about it that made you feel like this was also a gamble? Was there something that you did that put that pressure on you again?
Yeah, because it was an arena, and I always wanted. I think I told you the last time I was on here, I was like, I want to do arenas. I want to be able to show that
Yeah.
I can sell out an arena, and And that was a pressure because that's a completely different skill set. You know what I mean? There's the
Oh,
club.
like the way that you perform is completely
Yeah.
different.
You gotta talk to the person in section 300 and make them feel like they're in the front row, and you gotta maintain that energy throughout the entire show.
How do you practice that? Because obviously you can't practice in arenas.
Yeah.
You still have to practice and work on your set in clubs and on regular stages. So
Yeah.
how do you actually practice the kind of performance that goes into an arena show?
I think I just, I had a couple arenas before that. You know, I had one in like Seattle, and there was another one, I think. I can't remember where. But I was playing to big audiences, and I just remember getting on stage and just understanding that I can't just stand here in the middle. I got to go way left because there's a person that's next to the speaker far left. They can't really hear you or see, but if you walk up to the side, they'll get a good view of you.
Do you start crafting jokes that require you to sort of move around the stage a little bit more, or do you modify your jokes?
I just know that I had to cut more fat out, and just give more energy behind the joke. You know what I mean? Right. Like just really
punchlines, basically. Because
punch it up and just get to it a little bit faster.
You have an amazing impression in this special. I told you that I loved it, of your son. Yeah. Has he seen it, and what does he think about it?
He was there that night. He was there, and I'm wearing the shoes that he picked. These were actually the shoes I wore that night. And I was actually going to go on stage with just some old school huaraches, and I remember they were literally, it was like seconds before the director was like, "Joe, are you ready?" And my son was like, "Dad, you're not going to wear those, are you?" It's like, "You can't wear those huaraches, Dad. No. Like, it's got to be something big. You got to wear some shoes, man. You got to put your stamp on this special."
He threw those on you?
No, we had to call my friend who owned a consignment store that carried them, and he literally had to go back, open up his store, and then bring these to me. It took him like 15 minutes. I felt sorry. Big shout out to Chase DeRusso. He was on stage, and we made him extend his time. He was about to say goodnight. He was like, "All right, you guys, I got to stay on stage." And he had to stay on stage for like 15 more minutes.
Well, you waited for the shoes?
Yeah, I waited for the shoes. I swear.
Just because that's so cool.
I trust my son.
Yeah, you trust your son's taste so much that you delayed your arena show.
I think when you're a parent, you realize that your kids are cool, but not cool. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, you're cool, but man, you're a nerd too. Like, I don't like you that much, but you're hip and I'll listen to you. You know what I'm talking about.
Exactly what you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, okay, yeah, he's cool. He puts that outfit together, but he smells like crap. You know what I mean? Because he didn't take a shower. Right?
Like,
you know what I'm talking about.
I spent some time over the holidays with a cousin who was like 17, and I was just getting tips on music to listen to.
Yeah.
That like all the kids in his generation are listening to. And then I was also kind of like, dude, you know that bottle that you have vodka in? Everybody here knows. Like, you are not hiding anything.
You're not smart.
You're not smart.
You're not smart at all.
We all know that you may have a problem right now.
I bought my son a pair of Versace underwear because he loves the Migos, right? So he's got a pair of Versace. He's got two pair. He's got a gold one and a red one. So if you've ever seen Versace underwear, you know exactly what they look like, right? It's a very distinct pair of underwear. 3 days in Vegas, the same logo going around his waist. I'm like, bro, you haven't even changed those. Those are the gold ones I bought you. What are you doing? Why are you even wearing underwear at this point? Those are literally fart filters. That's all that is right now. That's all it is. Change the filter.
I remember when
but he looked cool. Like, anyone that didn't know my son, like, yo, that kid is rocking them Versace underwear. Right. They don't know that that's a sponge for his butt. It's disgusting. What he has on underneath is gross.
When I was a teenager, I would not wash my hair for weeks and weeks and weeks, just because I thought it would be cool if I could just like go like this and it would stick up.
Stick up, yeah.
And people would be like, "Your hair looks cool," but people who were close to me like, "You smell like shit." Yeah. Like, you have to go wash your hair.
Yes.
And I was like,
so
"No,
true.
It's cool. It's like what my favorite rock stars do."
That is so funny because I did the same thing. It was like your own personal pomade.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because you would see a rock star or something with hair like that, and no one would tell you like, well, that's because they're a cocaine addict that sleeps in a hotel room for 10 months out of the year.
Exactly.
You have a home and a family.
Exactly. Son, that's not dandruff. That's cocaine in his hair.
You actually don't want that.
Yeah, you don't want that.
And we don't want that for you,
Yeah.
so don't do that.
Don't do that.
So what's next? You've sold out arenas. You've done 2 Netflix specials now. Are you adding another thing for yourself? What's the next thing?
Netflix and I are working on another project where we go to the Philippines, and it's gonna be the first time I think a special is shot in the Philippines. It's the first time ever. Yeah, let's just say that it's the first time ever that there's gonna be a special shot in the Philippines.
How many shows have you done in the Philippines at this point?
I've done. Dude, those shows were amazing, man. I performed in Cebu, and literally they were like from the airport to this hotel usually takes about an hour and a half because of the traffic. It's so bad. They treated me like the president of of the Philippines, man. They literally had 2 motorcycle cops go up this bridge, which was bumper to bumper, and spread people. Like, they didn't even care if the cars flipped over the bridge. They're like, hey, we got Jo Koy, let's go. Let's go. And it was 5 vans, and and we were speeding. I was like, yo, what is going on? I swear to God, we got to that hotel in less than 15 minutes. It was so cool. It was the coolest homecoming a person could possibly have.
Did you meet the president of the Philippines?
No.
Yeah, okay, I was just kind of curious.
I had his cops.
Right.
He wasn't able to see me because I had his security. That's the truth. It was so much fun, man. I can't
So you're
wait.
doing a special in the Philippines. Don't you also have another show that you're making right now as well?
This Functional Family.
Yeah, tell me about
And
that.
this Functional Family, it was an idea. It's a passion project that I've been trying to sell for almost 7 years. It's an animated series based on my family. And
Are you paying for this one yourself as
no,
well?
no,
Okay, good.
TV went all out, man, and they produced it along with Stun Creative, and we shopped it over to True, and they bought it, man. They just greenlit it for 10 episodes, man. So we're already
amazing.
I got a writer's room, I got a staff, I got a showrunner, Kurt Riddell, big shout out, and yeah, I get to go in and my face is all over the wall, and man, I pinch myself every time.
When a writer tells you an idea that you don't like, do you
I go,
do you
fired!
Do you see whose face that is on the wall?
Yeah, I go, do you not
see
know
who's-
who this is? The show is about my family, not yours.
What is it like having...
Get back in there, because I
Obviously-
make him go in a closet and write.
Obviously, you've been in writers' rooms before,
Yeah.
right? What is it like being the... well, you're not the showrunner, but you are essentially probably co-EP, co-showrunner in a way.
Oh, I'm EP showrunner along with
Yeah.
Kurt Riddell. And
So what is it
and
like-
head writer, duh, I created it. But
Do you see whose
but-
face it is on the poster?
yeah, hey man.
But what is it like for you running a writer's room now? Was
Oh,
it something that you'd always dreamed of? Are you comfortable with
I
it?
love it, man. I always dreamed about this, and I'm joking, by the way. Like, you trust your showrunner, you know what I mean? Like, Kurt Riddell is amazing. He did American Dad. He did Will and Grace, and now he's doing this, and of course, you know, I trust my writers, you know, and whenever they come up with an idea or, you know, I don't really like it, we talk about it, and that's the best part of my job. You know what I mean? I want the story to stay true. I still want it to be my voice. You know what I mean? I don't want that taken away.
Well, oftentimes if somebody comes up with an idea that you don't like too, talking about it will bring an idea that you do like. If
Yeah.
you just sort of shoot down ideas that you don't like, there's actually like no collaboration there, and you're not
Yeah.
going to find something in between.
Yeah,
you know?
I find we always sit around like this and we just tell stories to each other, and then we do like a little mashup, and that's how we write it. And it's really cool. It's a lot of fun.
When can we expect to see it?
2020, so early 2020.
Have you seen like any of the animation that they're
Oh
doing
yeah,
for
we,
yet?
we,
Oh,
we
that's
did
so
a
cool.
sizzle. Man, we did that like 4 months ago, so it looks good. It's so much fun.
Are you voicing your mom on it?
I was supposed to, but I can put it out there. I can't put it out there.
Okay,
yet.
yeah.
I can't put it out there yet.
I think we have
I
to-
want to. No, I better not.
Well, you can just you can get the
Tia
next episode-
Carrere is doing the voices for doing my mom's voice.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Wow!
Yeah.
Were you not supposed to put that out there?
No, not yet.
I was just about to save you and be like, you can get the catharsis and tell me in 5 minutes
Yeah.
backstage if you wanted.
Yeah, no.
You
It's
did
all
it.
good. Yeah. Screw it. Now I guess it's. I guess it's in. It's inked.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I hope.
Yeah,
I hope
she
it's
read it.
fine.
She read on the pilot, and yeah, she knocked it out of the park, man. So it's pretty cool.
I think I have time for a couple questions from the audience. Who's a question right here? Hi.
Hi, my name's Ashley.
Hi, Ashley.
And my question is, when and what moment in life did you realize, like, stand-up and comedy was your calling and what you wanted to do?
I knew I wanted to be a comic when I saw Eddie Murphy Delirious on HBO in 1981. And I recorded it on a Kodak VHS tape. And I think I recorded, I watched it about a million times. And to the point where I would mimic everything that he said on stage at school. I even asked my mom for a red leather outfit. My mom was like, "Leather? Are you kidding me? That's expensive." And then I even used my mom's credit card to buy tickets on Ticketmaster. This is before the internet, so I had to make a phone call to this to a place called Bon Marché that had a Ticketmaster, and I bought 2 tickets to Raw. And my mom thought she was taking me to a movie in downtown Seattle. She goes, "I thought you were going to an Eddie Murphy movie." And it was a concert, and she dropped 2 15-year-olds off in Seattle. She had to drive around Seattle for like 2 hours. But yeah, Eddie is the reason why I do stand-up, and I knew I was gonna be a comic at like 11 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's why right out of high school, I went on stage.
How did you maintain that that belief in yourself when you were working 3 jobs, had a 4-year-old, and you had been going for like 15 years before you
Yeah.
got the Tonight Show?
And a mom, that was like always telling me to quit.
Yeah.
So that was tough too, because she was like, "Joseph, there's no benefits, and you have a child that needs health insurance. It's fine for you to chase your dreams, but what about your son's dreams?" And I'm not even joking, by the way. And so yeah, there was times where I was like, maybe she's right. I should quit and just get a full-time job and start worrying about my son and do this part-time gig on the weekend. But I couldn't, man. I knew it was gonna happen. I just had to keep punching through.
How did you know?
I just knew. I knew I had it. I knew this was my calling. I was always funny. When I was on stage, I was funny. I was killing. It's just my opportunity hasn't come yet, and I just had to wait for that opportunity. I knew it was going to come. I just didn't know when.
Right.
But I was willing to wait. If you don't wait, then you might as well get out of this game because it's a long, long wait.
I mean, and now at this point, you've probably taught your son an even greater lesson, which is sort of like chase your dream, follow it as far as you can, as long as you can.
Yeah.
Don't give up.
And I don't mean to
And
say.
also love what you do.
Yeah, you gotta love what you do. Don't try and do something because the money's there. Like, be in love with your passion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's got so many tools at his side, to help him. He doesn't have to worry about going to Kinko's and cutting up flyers and then going to the mall and putting them in the windshield wipers of cars and getting chased out of the mall. And that's how I set my flyer. This kid can make a flyer and then just blast it out on Instagram now. And
Does he have creative aspirations?
oh yeah, he's really creative. I don't know what it is that he wants to do. I think he's hinting around stand-up because I was in Malaysia. I took him to Malaysia, and I was doing a show, and I was just about to go on stage, and I looked at him, and I was like, "You want to go up?" And he goes, "Ooh, let me see." And he had like this moment where he thought about it, and I go, "Are you about to go up?" And then he said, "Next time." I promised that next time. So I think he's gonna do it.
Wow.
I'm just waiting for it. I know he's probably gonna be a stand-up comic. I'm putting that out there. If I was a gambling man, my son's gonna be a stand-up comic or an actor. But
Does that make you proud and
So
or
proud.
Really?
Oh.
No worry about it at all?
Oh, I would love to go on the road with my son.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be amazing. I remember when I was doing Premium Blend on Comedy Central. It was like a 5-minute spot on Comedy Central, and Damon Wayans was the host. And I remember backstage, I couldn't believe I was doing a show at Damon Wayans, and then I saw a kid next to him that looked exactly like Damon Wayans. Right. I didn't know who it was, but I knew it was a kid. And Damon introduced me to his son, and that ended up being Damon Wayans Jr. And he ended up being a great stand-up comic himself, and now he's a phenomenal actor. But that, to me, as a father, that was the most beautiful thing I ever saw, just seeing Damon walking around and trusting his son to help him write his bits going on stage and learning the craft from his father, from one of the greatest.
I think we have time for one more question. Right here. Hey.
How are you?
Joe, my name is Markel. I'm so happy to finally meet you. I just wanted to tell you, me and my wife, we are big fans, and to a point where if something happens, like something stupid happens, it's like automatically we just say like, "Are you effing kidding me, Joseph?" Like it's just she's like she does that in road rage, everything. But,
Yes.
I wanted to ask you, what was the moment where you realized like you went from just being average Joseph Koy to Jo Koy? Like what was that moment like, and do you remember that exact moment?
Oh man, that's such a great question. But this is what I love the most about his coming from him, because it doesn't matter about the ethnicity. And a lot of people always like to typecast or put somebody in a what is it, in a group,
Box, yeah.
in a box. Oh, he's Filipino, so he talks to our Filipino demographic. It's like, no, it's not. It's not that. I have a mom who happens to have a Filipino accent. But he relates to my mom because his mom does the same thing my mom does. And his wife probably does the same thing my mom does. You know what I mean? Because it's just a mom. Like, they're all the same. So it's relatable content. And this is just great. Like, I love the fact that he said that. And I'm going to hug you so hard. We'll do it right now. Let's do it right now. And, yeah, man, it's so cool because I think Hawaii was that place where I was like, yo, I can't even leave my hotel room. It was like I really felt it. Like I couldn't believe, like, man, this is really happening. Like I'm walking and heads are turning and people are running up to me. So, man, I'm just happy it's happening.
Well, I'm curious about one thing that he asked is like, that transition from Joseph Koy to Jo Koy, was that something that, I mean, obviously, the way that you just described it now, it was the moment where you became big, but what about just the change of names? Was that like as soon as you got on stage, you felt like Jo Koy?
Yeah.
Or did that take time as well?
Oh, Jo Koy is not even my real name.
Yeah.
Like, my real name is Joseph Glenn Herbert. So see, see how they laugh at that? Imagine doing open mics and the MCs bringing me up as Joseph Glenn Herbert, and like, I'd always have to defend my name, blah blah blah. But
Hello, my name is Joseph
hi,
Glenn Herbert.
yeah, exactly. I would even change it to like Glenn Joseph, and then people would be like, "That's not even a real name, buddy." So, Jo Koy is a nickname that was given to me by my aunt, my Auntie Evelyn. She always called me Jo Koy, and that's what I went up as, and yeah, it's crazy because that's what people know me as, is Jo Koy. It's weird to even think that is my name now. So, but I'm Joseph Herbert.
Doing open mics about furniture shopping with your wife.
Oh, so funny.
Joe, I love having you here, man. Congratulations. You're also, we should say, on tour right now as well, right?
Oh, get ready for the book.
Yeah. Oh, there's
I
a
got
book
a book
too?
Yeah, that's coming out next year too. So I'm right around chapter 10 right now, I think. Close to. So
you got a book next year. You've got a tour going on right now as well. People can find dates on your website for where they can see you.
Yes.
And you've got this coming out, Comin In Hot, coming out June 12th, and the show as well.
Yeah.
The True TV show coming out next year as well, right?
Yes.
Unreal.
Oh, man,
2020 is going to be the year of Jo Koy.
I can't wait. This is good. Thank
Jo
you.
Koy, everybody.
Thank you, guys.